How about others? Did they come? Okay, on the way. Those who are connected online, can you all hear us?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Right. I'm sorry, there was a small delay from my side. There are only few students here. We will be starting around 8:45. Wait for another 4 minutes. We have to complete the previous topic first, then move to the new one. Have you all managed to complete the assignment and uploaded it? Yeah. Take it. I think all the groups have submitted the report. For this time, I will consider it formally when I start the lecture. Have they scheduled the exam? Have they scheduled the exam? Many of it have exam. So, end of this month or next month? February 20. Okay. And prior to that, you may have 1 or 2 weeks study leave period as well, right? Hopefully, we won't be able to have the quiz as scheduled then. If you're right, we can go for the quiz. Otherwise, the full marks will be allocated for the group report, and the continuous assessment will be completed with that. So that we are right. You better discuss with the group and let me know towards the end of the lecture today. If we need, and if we are in a position to have it, we will have an online quiz there. But I'm considering the online participants. If we take presentations for online quizzes, there won't be adequate facilities here to monitor how they answer the quiz. And all. That I'll have to arrange another arrangement for the online participant. That's also not nice. That's all. Anyway, let's see. We can have the presentations of the same content, but let me go to the report submitted first and decide. Meantime, you can also discuss within the group, with the batch, who is the coordinator, is he or she here? On the way. Discuss among yourself and let me know whether that's all right to conclude the CA with a good report. Okay. Because there are a few lecture cancellations as well in the semester due to bad weather conditions, due to some other reasons. And I know we need to expedite the discussion as well. We need to cover at least 3 or 4 more topics. Right. I think others will also join with us. Let's formally start our discussion today. I think this is a 10th session on operations management. Good morning, everyone. Last time when we meet, we started this topic on operations management. That was on facility layout planning. Facility layout planning, simply known as layout strategy of operations management. So, hope you remember when we discussed about it, we understood what a layout is and why that is important for operations. There we understood layout is all about the physical resource arrangement within the operations facilities, such as the buildings, premises. So within a factory, how inside the factory is designed, in the sense, how the departments are separated within the building, how machinery, production lines, working areas are established within the building in a way that operations activities can be performed efficiently and smoothly. That physical arrangement is what we call the layout. Right. So we further to that understood the importance of it because that's a kind of long-term arrangement. So, once the layout is designed and established, that is for a longer time period. So how the resources are utilized, how the production activities should take place in manufacturing facilities, will be determined based on the layout. So that has to be designed in a better manner or more efficient manner, appropriate manner, and that's what we discussed. Further to that, the layout determines the production processing time. We call it the flow time. From starting point to the end, what is the time taken for the production? Because in addition to the production activities, these work in progress will be taken from one department to another, from one machinery to another. Right? So it has to go through the factory. So the production time would be affected by the layout as well. Not only that, the cost of production would be determined because transportation internally from one department to another. Right? When there are more frequent transportation taking place, work in progress from one department to another, from there to there. So likewise, we call it material handling cost would be high when the layouts are not designed properly. In fact, that affect the production cost as well. Further to that, depending on the way that you have arranged the factory and where you have established the machinery and all, how efficiently you can utilize the resource capacity will be determined. We call it utilization of resources. As you know, in operations management, the purpose or the focus is utilize the resources in a maximum productive manner. But due to some layout issues, some factories are unable, some factory workers are unable to maximally utilize the resources, factory capacity, machinery capacity. So that is why the layout has to be designed in a most appropriate manner in operations. Most of those points are relevant for factories, but we think of service layouts like universities, lecture halls, hospitals, banks, supermarkets, airports. There are more challenges coming to service layouts. Why? In service layouts, in addition to the resources we have, in addition to the departments we have to think how to manage the customers and the people coming to the service outlet and make sure they are able to smoothly go through different departments and get completed their service requirements. Say for an example, patients coming to hospitals. Patients coming to hospitals should be able to complete the service related processes like registration, initial screening, and then meeting the consultants or doctors, getting done the reports, scanning, and getting the other treatments from different departments right, appropriately. So all these service processes should happen in a smooth and fast manner. If you think of a bank, there are more customers coming in. So the bank staff should be able to efficiently complete the service activities and deliver service. You know, at a restaurant, customers should be able to come into the restaurant easily or quickly, and the dining area should be clear, clean, and neatly arranged. The waiting staff should be able to easily take the orders. Kitchen and the back office staff should be able to process food items more efficiently and deliver to the customers on time. All these things get affected by the layout. The way you design the layout affects whether you can efficiently deliver the service. Can you understand it? I hope so. So in that context, designing the layout is important. The other day we understood what are the layout design objectives. Then we understood what are the different layout types available for different processors to select. I'm not going to repeat that content, right? But in this slide, we identified what type of processing, what type of layouts are recommended. If you have any doubts, please go through the previous recorded lecture, you will understand. So for different type of processing, different types of layouts are recommended because these layouts are different and each has their own advantages, their own disadvantages as well. So that we discussed the other day. In addition to that, we also identified the characteristics of these layout types. We did it quickly, but I'm not going to repeat the content because we have the recorded date. In addition to those 4 layout types, there are other layout types also. We identified 3 here, and they are also different from each other. For different industries, different organizations, appropriate layout should be selected and utilized. You can ask any quick questions based on these things, because today, before the break, what I'm going to do is take 2 layout types and discuss with you how such layout should be designed What are the layout design techniques? So there are 4 basic layout types. Fixed posture layout. What is the other one? Functional layout. We call it process-oriented layout. We discussed that last week, right? Process-oriented layout, their characteristics and all. And then we have product-oriented layout, right? And hybrid or cell layout as well. We understood their characteristics. Today, what we try to do is, I will start with the functional layout, identify what are the layout design techniques available, very briefly, since we run short of time as well, but you should know it. And then, time permits, we will go to layout design techniques used for product-oriented layout as well. Right. So quickly go through the content up to that point, like the characteristics, how they are different from each other. I will give you 3 to 5 minutes, especially if you ask questions, I will allocate more time. Online participants also can ask questions on this content. And we will start our discussion from here. I will give you 3 to 5 minutes initially. If you have more questions, I will allocate more time. Right. So quickly go through what layout is, and then more importantly, the layout types, 4 basic types, and their characteristics, their differences. Those who are connected online as well can ask questions, because in previous question papers, you may see sometimes questions like define layout planning and explain the importance of layout planning in operations management. Or sometimes identify layout related problems that affect operations. Or sometimes you'll be asked to describe the layout design objectives. What are the main objectives? What are the latest layout design concerns? I think during a group activity, in class activity, we identified layout design objectives and the latest trends as well. In addition to that, there can be questions like take probably for 2 layout types, compare uh, uh, product-oriented layout with process-oriented layouts. Compare the advantages of process-oriented layout with product-oriented layouts. Likewise, there can be questions. I don't expect comprehensive detailed answers, but at least simple answers you should be able to at your level. Any questions? Anything you want to discuss? Online participants? Do you have any questions? I hope you all are into the lecture materials. When went to the Karena berbagai kan beberapa lagu boleh diseskan untuk dekat kayak sekarang kita si tempat dan sekarang juga online participants na pwede mo pinay-ride mo. Kaya ano naman kaya hindi ito nang hindi tayo na ito. Kita, ito na rin. Wala ko nila. Ito na rin. Send mo ito. Tama rin yun. Kaya ito na Texas. Ito na online na pina resources pa. Chika lang ito bigyan ng kapatid. Parang na bede ko lang. Kaya yung sekali tawag yung karang namin yung lab baking. But එන කට්ටියක මොනකොට ඉක්මනට කරන්න පුළුවන් මොනවා හරි විදිහට ඒකත් හරි අමාරුයි වැඩි වෙනකොට වැඩි වෙනකොට දැන් අපේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකේම SCB එකේ මගේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකේ වගේ හරි අමාරුයි ළමයි මොනිටර් කරගන්න නේද ඒකරි ෂොට් කට් එකක් දාලා යනවා මේ සමහර විස් කතාව ටිකක් මගේ පර්පස් එක තමයි ඔයගලන්ට ලෙක්චර් මැටීරියල්ස් පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න එන්කරේජ් කරන එක ඒක වෙන්නේ නැහැ මොනව කරලා වැඩ අන්තිමට මේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා මතර මේක ලෙක්චර්ස් ටිකක් ඉක්මනට ඉවර කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක ඉඳ බලමු. ඒක මම ඩිස්කස් කරන්න කියන්න. යනවා නම් ෆිසිකලි අපි කරන්න ඕනේ. Second option submit කරපු assignment එකේ within a day අපිට online participants ලා join වෙන්න කියලා presentations ටිකක් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක content එකට අමතරව report එකට අමතරව presentation එකක් evaluate කරනවා. Second option. Itu yang kita yang kita. Katakan ini. I wouldn't mind allocating full marks for the report as well, but I think it's fair by you if you have one more activity like a presentation so that you can score better. Right. Seems you don't have main questions, so let's move to the content today. As I told you, I will take functional layout first. So this is the type of layout what we call functional layout. What is the main characteristic of this type of layout? We understood it last week, right? When we look at other layout types, functional layouts or process-oriented layouts are different. What is the unique characteristic here? What is the main characteristic here? Inside the premises, operations resources are grouped together, similar resources grouped together and arranged as departments. So that is the difference. Right? So, say for example, this is a machine shop where there are few departments. In the lathe department, only the lathe machines. Milling department, only the milling machines. So likewise, similar resources functioning in the same manner, grouped. Right? So such layouts are known as functional layouts. Now the purpose here, as you may have understood, they can produce a variety of products, sometimes customized products. When the resources are grouped like this and layout is arranged like this. So what you see here in yellow line, that is the production process to produce one product, one type of product. So the red line, that is the production process for another product. So likewise, depending on the production requirements, different parts can be arranged so that different products can be produced flexibly. When the layout is designed like this, right? So such an arrangement is known as process-oriented layout or functional layout. The main advantage of this type of layout is its flexibility. Right? It's flexibility because different products, a variety of products can be produced, customized products can be produced, right? Different volumes can be produced. Right? In services, when we use it like at hospitals and all, people can go through different routes in order to get fulfill their requirements flexibly. Such an arrangement is functional layout. That is different. You can compare it with others when we discuss. So we identified their characteristics, right, and the advantages as well, right? Advantages and disadvantages. Characteristics and advantages and disadvantages. Here, right, process-oriented layouts, the advantages. Quickly go through, right? However, some of these disadvantages are also there with that type of layouts. Little further details like how such layouts can be designed, process-oriented layouts. Let's quickly come to slide number 33 to understand that. Well, as the departments are located within the building, production steps are, within the building, these machineries are grouped together and then established depending on the function. So one main concern here when designing the layout is that how to place departments that are frequently interacted close by. When there are 2-3 departments interacting with each other, right? So when we design the layout, we should carefully place them together. Otherwise, unnecessarily the work in progress will be transporting from one place to another. We call that material handling. So material handling will be complicated, would be expensive if the layout is inappropriately designed. For that purpose, right, this is the main purpose of layout, process-oriented layout objective. The arrangement of work centers should be done to minimize the cost of material handling. Minimize the cost of material handling. Usually the material handling cost depends on two things. One is number of loads moving between departments and how many items. Number of loads. In case of services, number of people moving from one department to another and vice versa. And then the distance such loads transported. Because longer the distance, higher the cost. So considering these two pieces of information, layout should be finalized, designed. So there are different techniques. We are going to quickly identify one technique here that is called block diagramming technique. Very simple example, just to get an idea only. More complicated practical examples you can understand later. Right? So what is the technique we are going to discuss? A technique called block diagramming. Block diagramming. There's another technique called relationship diagramming. I will briefly show you that. When to use block diagramming, as you see it here, when you have quantitative data, quantitative numbers of what? Number of loads between departments, how long they travel, right? If such data is available in numbers, you can use this technique called block diagramming technique. And the aim of this technique is to minimize non-additional loads. Departments, between departments, there are different loads. Transactions between non-adjacent departments should be minimized. We call it non-adjacent loads, should be minimized, right? So, for that, I will use this example and these steps just to show you how to do that. Right. We got the example given in slide number 34. You have provided some information like there's a building. Inside the building, we need to arrange 6 departments. 6 departments in a factory with the purpose of minimizing the material handling cost. Right. Considering number of transactions between departments and the material handling cost. The building is 60 feet long and 40 feet wide, and each department is required 20 by 20 feet. So, in such a case, all the information is provided in the question like this. Practically, if you are to design a layout like this, you have to first of all gather all such information. Right? Space availability, size of the building, dimensions, right? And then determine the space requirements. Right? So you as a manager will have to gather all such information from departments, from top management, right? From operations management. You'll have to gather such information in order to finalize. In an exam question like this, examples like this, such information will be provided. Then we have to prepare a summary table. We call it from to matrix that shows number of transactions between departments. Say for an example, slide number 35 shows you from to matrix between 6 departments. These are number of loads per week between departments. Can you understand it? Information is provided in numbers so that you can consider where to place which department to smoothly handle these number of transactions. This is per week actual data provided so that you consider such data to design the layout. So hope you can understand this is a summary chart. So what is the highest number here? There is 100 here. Between 1 and 3, assembly department and the machine shop, 100 loads have been transferred from 1 to 3 and 3 to 1 as well. This is a summary. In addition to that, there is another 100 here. Machine shop and testing, 3 to 6 and 6 to 3. Right? Two-way relationships. So likewise, other departments' relationships are. Considering such data, if you are to design the layout inside the building, how to do that? Well, for a simple question like this, we can manually try to do that. Right? We call that approach trial and error method. What is it? Trial and error method. That is the way that we have. That is the way that we can manage it manually. Right? For simple questions like this, manual trial and error method would be enough. Right? But complicated questions may require additional concern, right? Advanced techniques. Right. Now, what are the steps? We need to have this from to matrix that is given. We need to determine the space requirements that is also provided here. And then we have to start with an initial schematic diagram. We can simply consider that as the initial solution. What is it? Initial solution. Right. So that is, as I told you, trial and error method. We start with the trial. Right. The initial idea. Right. So, for example, say we randomly place 6 departments like this. This is the trial, initial version. I don't have time to consider everything, so I placed 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I consider this as the initial solution. Initial solution. That is the next step. On trial basis, I design a layout. That's called initial layout. According to the building dimensions and the space requirements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the next step is to determine the cost of this layout or identify whether there are non-adjacent loads. I will go by the second option because calculating cost will be little complicated. I will show you, but I will show you simply considering non-adjacent loads how to handle it. Right? But purpose is to calculate the cost of the initial layout and try to improve it in the next attempts. Coming to this, take a piece of paper and quickly try to draw this layout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Answer is given, but just quickly try. I mean, initial solution. Then what I shown here, number of transactions that you take from the from to matrix. Without looking at the answer, try to show these transactions on your initial solution. What I mean by that is, now see, there is this 50. There is this 50 that is between 1 and 2. You show it here between 1 and 2, 50. Go back to the table and see between 1 and 3 and 3 and 1, that is 100. In my initial solution, I have placed 1 here, 3 here. So the transaction between that is 100. That has to come through department 2. First it has to come to 2 and come to 3 there inside the building. So, little further distance. So then the next one, that is 1 and 4, department 1 and 4, 1 here, 4 here, but no transaction. So we don't have anything to show. So like this. So this is the initial solution I designed randomly without much consideration. I'm trying to improve it later. But to move forward, we show the transactions on the initial solution. Just give it a try to quickly show the numbers. Don't take much time, just a rough work that would be enough. Location. I hope you're done, right? Now, our attempt is to improve the layout. Improve in the sense, now we have to assess whether the initial layout is good or can we improve it. How to determine that? For that, we look at how many non-adjacent loads are there in my initial solution. Now, transactions between 1 and 2 adjacent departments. This 50 is adjacent load. Adjacent departments. So we don't have to worry about them. A close by. So see whether we have any non-adjacent loads here. You might see 1 here, 3 here, non-adjacent departments. Between these two, there are 100 loads. That is a non-adjacent, that set of loads, non-adjacent loads. Between 1 and 3. So just calculate total non-adjacent loads for this initial solution. Between 1 and 3, we have 100 non-adjacent loads. This is it. We understood. Are there any more non-adjacent loads? Well, yes, 3 and 4. Now, usually there are rules like inside the building, what type of transportations would be allowed. Usually we consider this horizontal transportations would be allowed. In some calculation, we consider both horizontal and vertical movements are allowed inside the building. Right. In addition to that, we can also consider sometimes diagonal movements, either this way or that way. Right? Inside the building would be permitted, something like that. Inside the building, depending on the building arrangement. Right? With the only horizontal movements or vertical movements or diagonal movements would be allowed or not can be decided. In the exam question, such information will be given, but practically you will have to decide by observing the building. Understand it? So, between 3 and 4, it has to. I mean, if we allow all 4 type of movements, it has to. What is the shortest rule? It has to come to 5 and go to 4. So likewise, 3 and 4, 20. Further to that, we have between 1 and 6 also, isn't so? 1 and 6 is 20. It's 20. So altogether, total number of non-adjacent loads 140, isn't so? For this simple calculation. That means this layout is not efficient. That we have to improve this now. That's a simple idea. Now the question, how to improve? What we mean by improvement? We have to change the places of departments. What is the aim? To minimize non-adjacent loads. Minimize non-adjacent loads. Clear? So our improvement should be a change of places inside the building. That improvement should minimize what? This total non-adjacent loads. Make it 0 if possible. So that is what we call trial and error. And we improve it using trial and error. Now think of a way we arrange the departments inside the building to minimize 140 non-adjacent loads. How to do that? This is a very simple question so that we can easily understand. So what would be how you should think about it? How to minimize it? First of all, we have to understand what is the highest value in the non-adjacent loads. What is that 100? Here. 100, this 100, that is between 1 and 3 has contributed this 140. So in the next improvement, what we should do? We should locate 1 and 3 close by. Make them adjacent departments. Understanding? Make them adjacent departments so that we can address this issue. Usually in trial and error method, improvements are done step by step. One improvement at a time and then go for the next trial and then assess what is the total non-adjacent load for that solution and likewise they go forward. Understanding? So to arrive at a better solution, you will have to step by step slowly you'll have to improve it. So number of times, trial and error. You try to do that, right? But to minimize number of steps, number of trials, we can process few information together and make few improvements together. If you can process information. So let's try to follow that approach so that we can minimize number of steps, number of iterations, right? Right. Okay. Now the main improvement we are going to do in the next one is address this 100 and keep 1 and 3 close by. Right. That is one main change. While doing so, to make sure that non-adjacent loads are addressed What else we should do? How මොනවද හිතන්න ඕනේ මේක කරන්නේ? මේක මෙතන ගෙනාවම ආරයි. ඒක 100 අඩු කරනවා. So while doing that, what else we should do? Can you understand now? There is another 100 here. Another 100 here. That is between 3 and 6. That is the next highest value. In our improvement, if we separate 3 and 6, right, would that be impactful? Of course, yes. So we have to make it a point. While making that adjustment, 3 and 6 should be close by. Because that is the next most important two departments. 2 points now. If you are capable, you can process one more information. So what should be the next thing? You need to address these two as well. So check whether you can change the layout to minimize this 20 and this 20 as well. So give it a try. In the next improvement, try to adjust those few concepts. If you are unable, do one at a time. If you are capable, you can process few information together and minimize number of steps. Right. Okay. Make an improvement to the layout. What I mean by improvement? Change the places. Considering such information. Improve the layout. There is no one answer. There is no one correct answer. You may have your own answers. Try whether you can reduce this further or make it 0. My advice is don't process everything in your mind. Put that into the paper, then that will be easier, right? So change the places and see. Make an improvement. Hope you have done something, right? Have you attempted? Now you have to check whether your improvement is a better one or improved one or not, right? So how to do that? For the improved layout, show the same transactions. Take the values from here, from the same table, and show them on the improved solution. Show these values on the improved solution and see whether there are more non-natural loops or reduced. I'll take a photo. Yeah. Have you improved one? Yeah. Now, when you calculate the total non-natural loads for the improved one, you get around 20 plus 20, 20 plus 10, right? 20 plus 10, that is only 20, only 30. Right? So compared to the earlier one, you have arrived at a better layout now. So likewise, you may have come up with different solutions. Now, is that the best solution? Well, compared to the earlier one, this one is better, but we have to now check whether we can further improve it by addressing these two non-natural loads, that is between 1 and 6 and 2 and 5 in the next improvement. So likewise, until you arrive at a better layout. So that is a trial and error method. Right.
So we need to cancel the non-addition.
Like, well, we have to reduce non-natural loads as much as possible. Make it 0 if possible. So for example, by considering such information, I just thought I reshuffled it in a way like this. So see, my argument here, I want to keep 1 and 3 close by. Right. So I took 1 here, 3 there, and meantime I make sure 3 and 6 I didn't change because we identify that as another important improvement, right? So I didn't change 3 and 6 there. So that those two improvements I have done now. Then I tried to further address other requirements like other two non-adjacent loads, that is between 1 and 6, right? Make 1 and 6. Now with the improvement, I could address that also because I took 1 here, so that 6 here, so that they have become now adjacent loads. Thinking about the other one, 3 and 4. So I thought of rearranging it like placing 4 there wouldn't be a problem because now see, between 5 and 3, no transaction. See, 0. So no point of keeping it there. 5 and 6, no transactions. No point of keeping it there. Instead of that, I took 4 there. Notice it? So in that way, I argued, right? And then reshuffle the location. So I consider this as my improvement. Now I have to check whether this is an improvement or not. How to check that? By showing the numbers. Probably this must be an improvement compared to the earlier one. Right? So likewise, you may have arrived at better solutions. Now this is how non-adjacent loads are considered until you arrive at a better solution. Say one example here. In the example, they have revised the departments. They have taken 1 here and kept other things like this. When showing the transactions, only between 3 and 2. That is 30. That is only now. Here also 20. Right? So total 50 non-additional loads in this improvement. According to that handout, this. Is that clear? But you may have different numbers.
4,000.
How many times you have to do this until you arrive at a better solution? For simple questions like this, that this can be used, but for many complicated questions, large buildings, many departments, it will be difficult. And keep that in your mind. Any questions? Right. For simple questions like this, simple process layout designing questions like this, trial and error method can be used. When to use block diagramming technique? When you have data. Let me mention one more improvement as well. Now, say for an example. In our calculation, in our question, costing details are also provided, like material handling cost per load between adjacent load, adjacent department, it says $1 per load. If you have to consider the total transportation cost, that will be a little complicated, but this is how to do it, right? Now, for the initial solution, we have to identify loads and then calculate costing. Between 1 and 2 in my initial solution, that is 20. Sorry, that is 50. So transportation cost would be between 1 and 2. 50 into $1, $50. And in my initial solution between 1 and 3, number of transactions 100, but it has to come first to department 2 and come to 3. So it says here, for additional one, there would be one additional dollar will go through other departments. So for this 100, it has to first come to department 2 and go to 3 then. So from 1 to 2, $1, 2 to 3, another dollar. So per load, $2. Right. So the total cost would be 2 into 100, that is 200. So likewise, if we are to consider material handling cost, we have to first calculate the material handling cost and add together to get the total cost of the solution. Then when we improve it, we have to then again calculate the costs and see whether in the improved layout, whether we are able to reduce the total material handling cost. Understand that? Hope so. That will be little difficult, but that is the way to do it. ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පෙන්නන්නේ cost එක ගාව ගන්න නැතුව මේක කරන විදිය. Number of loads විතරක් consider කරලා කරන විදිය. හරි. එතකොට non-additional loads බලාගෙන ඒක අඩු කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක ටිකක් step එක ටිකක් simplify කරනවා. අපිට cost එකෙන් නයි යන්න වෙන්නේ. load එකට අමතරව අපිට බලන්න වෙනවා මේකේ තියෙන transport cost එක වැඩි වෙන විදිය. ඒකේ total cost එක calculate කරන්න වෙනවා solution එකේ solution එක. ඊපස්සේ බලන්න total material cost එක අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්. Material handling cost එක අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන් මොකද කියන්නේ. Right? So don't worry much about that because you have limited time in the exams. So you can understand material non-additional loads. That's enough. Right? Probably one more complication like this. ඔයගොල්ලෝ වැඩි complicate කරේ නැහැ නේද? දැන් තේරෙනවද? Right. One more practical situation like this. Say now, this is the initial solution given, right? But you will be provided some additional information like due to some physical arrangements. Say for an example, now this is the entry point. This is the entry point. So let's say this is a shipping point. Right? That is located close to the exit of the building. Right? Whatever the improvement you can do, but without changing the place of this department. You can change the other departments, but you cannot change the place of department 5 because that is physically established close to the exit of the building. Right? Can you understand? So when you are provided such information, keep in mind, you are not allowed to change that department from that place, but you can change the other department. The right points. Clear? Such constraints will be introduced. Such constraints can be given so that you have to consider them also when you make improvements. Clear? Write it down somewhere. When such physical constraints, building constraints are introduced, you have to consider it as well. One example would be the shipping department, that is department 5, should not be changed from the initial solution, from the place that is allocated in the initial solution. Sorry, why? Right? As I told you, now in the build, now say this is the entry point of the building. Now close. Well, I will take global setup more than this, right? Let's say at a factory, there is this warehouse and cutting department, right? And then warehouse is located close to the entry to the premises. Whatever the changes you can make inside the building, but warehouse should be kept at that place because you should be able to easily or efficiently load and unload stuff from the containers. You should not be changing the layout of the warehouse, but internally you can change. Likewise, such physical constraints can be introduced. Right? That could be one example, like that could be connected to some other utilities like electricity, water supply, right? From the building area. So you cannot change such places, in such case. Such instructions will be given. Practically, such constraints are there also. Assume. Now, by knowing about this, now you are going to help your mother rearrange the kitchen and layout. Now you are going to identify how many transactions she makes inside the kitchen from one section to another, one area to another, right? And you are trying to make it more efficient now. Now, washing basin, food preparation area, oven, and the cooking area, refrigerator, all these areas inside the kitchen, right? Now you calculate how often she moves from one place to another and make a note, right? How many transactions, right? And now you have from to metrics summary as well. Now you are going to get the initial layout that is already available one as the initial solution. Can you understand it? Now you try to improve the layout by changing the places of resources. Right? But doing so, can you change the place of, let's say, washing basin? Probably that is already fixed. Right? And connected to the tray and the wastewater line as well. If you have to make it, that's expensive. So you are not going to touch upon that. But you can change the other things that you can easily move. Right? Things you cannot change or that is expensive to change, you are not going to change. Other changes. Understanding? Will you make that improvement at home? Your personal room? Right? That is the purpose here. Right. Now you may think like every situation, when we use functional layout, we don't have numbers like the example I cited. home and kitchen. So in such a case, when we don't have numbers, right, there is this technique called relationship diagramming. When you don't have quantitative data, but only the opinions with the appropriateness of each place. So optimal solution is based on location preference between areas. Let me quickly show you that before the break and go for the break. Now there are certain instances we don't have numbers. We have to place which department. In such a case, we can use qualitative understanding. We call them location preferences, opinions of experts. And a technique like this. Say for example, we use a schematic diagram like this. Production, officers, these are the six departments we are to arrange inside the building. Then to decide location preferences, we use a coding system. And that's very simple to keep in mind. A, E, I, O, U, and X. Right? Location preferences. Right? A are absolutely necessary. E especially important, likewise. And X for undesirable relationships. Right? We don't have numbers, but we can get the support of an expert and summarize location preferences in a schematic diagram like this. Right? These are location preferences. Can you understand it? Say for an example now, according to this information provided, considering some experts' judgment, now there is this A. What is that A? That is a location preference between production and locker room. Can you understand it? A. Production and locker room absolutely necessary according to the opinion of the expert. Then what is this A? Relationship between what and what? This A, it comes from production and local, tool room. Understanding? So schematic diagram like this can be used to summarize location preferences, but expert opinion should be taken there. We don't have numbers, but we have now preferences. Clear? Numbers there, numbers are variable. But at least we are going to consider the location preferences. What is this O? That is OK. Keeping OK. This is a kind of simple classification. So OK. Keeping them may not be important, but keeping them is all right. That is between officers and shipping and system. I hope you understand it. What is this X? X undesirable. What X's are undesirable. Right? Undesirable. So this X, that is officers and local. For some reasons, expert has given an opinion not to place office and local room close by. X. So this is the, we don't have summary chart method. From to matrix summary, but we have preferences, location preferences summary that we can consider. So for example, this is the existing layout. This is the layout that has already established. Office here, locker room here, shipping and receiving, production, tool room and stock. This is the original for the existing layout, and you are given information like this summary chart, right? And you are to assess whether the existing layout is good or bad. and suggest improvements. How to do that? For that, we use a line coding system like this. You know, A-type relationships we use 5 lines. E-type relationships we use 4 lines. So this is where the layouts are. Now, officers and locker room. We go to the summary and see officers and locker room are X. I go to the chart and draw a line, like zigzag line, because X line, X. And of locker room and shipping, I go to the chart, locker room and shipping, that is unimportant. According to my line coding, that is one line. And shipping and receiving and production. Shipping, receiving and production. Shipping, receiving and production. Here, I. And for I, 3 lines. 3 lines. So likewise, line coding can be applied. Then between production and stock room, A. Production and stock room. Stock room and production, right? So 5 lines. Line codes can be. So instead of addition nodes, we can draw lines. Complete the sum. Now, by looking at it, what do you think? Is that a better layout? Can we further improve it? Of course, you should be able to see now. Well, many improvements are required here. What type of improvements you would suggest? Idea on what should have happened? Departments that are absolutely necessary to keep together should be located close by. A relationships Langamati known. So by looking at this, we identify lengthy 5 lines. That means this needs to be improved. Between stock room and production room, between stock room and shipping, right? They are located inappropriately, and that is why lengthy distance is high. Distance of these A lines. If you have to improve, what you do? You have to change. Right? Keeping that in mind, which one of changing. So consider at least these 2 and rechange it, rearrange it, and then draw this again. Like this. Hope you understand. When to use this technique, we call it relationship diagramming. When we don't have numbers, but only layout and the location preferences. So in the handout, this example is provided. So they have improved the layout now, changing the places and draw the lines again. Now compared to earlier one, the new one here, do you see any improvement? Do you see any improvement here? Yeah. You can notice that A-type relationships are now, the length of the A lines are shortened. That means absolutely necessary departments are now located close by in this improved layout by changing the places. Trial and error method. And in the earlier one, there was this zigzag line, undesirable relationship between officers, the office and the locker room. Now in the improved one, office there, locker room there, they have resolved that also. Likewise. Do you have an idea now? So simple functional layout designing techniques or designing assignments, these two techniques can be used. When you have data, numbers, block diagramming technique. When you have only the opinion, relationship diagramming technique. For complicated situations, these simple techniques may not be enough. Right? And for that, different advanced solutions like computer programs can be used to solve bigger, complicated problems. There are different techniques, programs like flowcharts, multi-story capabilities, different levels. Not only the ground floor, first floor, second floor, likewise, can be planned using computer solutions, software solutions available, right? And handle storage, container placement, material volume, time and cost analysis efficiently in such computer software solutions. So Pro Planner flow path calculator is one such technique available, that is to generate material flow diagrams, calculate material handling distances, times, costs, and to use color coded flow lines and help identify how to minimize excessive material handling cost within a building alone. So what you see here is one such output. Right? So with the support of that type of solution, apps solutions, right? You can evaluate existing layouts efficiently, quickly, and not only that, we can ask the software to generate alternative layouts. Minimum. Now we have these three-dimensional softwares as well, 3D solutions, so that not only the 2D visualization, 3D visualization has been available now. These are useful for managers to view possible layouts and assess processes, material handling, efficiency issues, layout issues, even without physically building the layout. So layout designers are frequently using these software solutions now, make their tasks easier and more accurate method. Clear? What did we discuss? Functional layout designing techniques. Are there any questions? No? Let's go for a break and come back around 10:25. After that, we can mark the attendance. Go for the break. I ask you to mark the attendance, check whether you can mark the attendance. After you should have beat anything. Password. At the end of the lecture, we will mark your attendance. Anyone else who have the same issue? Others can mark the attendance. Right, I hope everyone could mark the attendance. Now, when it is the condition. Right, have you decided upon the continuous assessment activities or not yet? කතා කරලා කියනවද එහෙනම්? Can you contact me over the phone or probably a message from the group coordinator within next few days that we can decide what we can do. I prefer the presentation of option if you, if you prefer to have one more additional work. Otherwise, just concluding the CA marks of the report would be the option. I think organizing a quiz may not be practical with online participants with your batch. Those are my concerns. Just let me know within the next few days' time. And then remaining part of this topic, that is designing product-oriented layouts. Right? I will skip that part for your group. It's not a must to know everything. You can study it later. So what we concluded here, there are different layout types. We identified their characteristics and all, advantages, disadvantages, and about only one layout type, that is process-oriented layouts. We discussed the layout design techniques as well. We discussed about two layout design techniques for process-oriented layouts. One is block diagramming technique, and the other one is relationship diagramming. With that, let's conclude the layout strategy, operations facility layout topic, and move to the new topic that is quality management. You may find these lecture materials on the LMS. Please especially find the soft copy of this handout if you don't have the hard copy. Online participants, we concluded the previous topic, and we are now moving to the new topic, another important area on operations management. Managing for quality management. Find the lecture material. Yesterday was Saturday. Hope you could find the handout. Are we ready? Could you find the handout? Yes. We move to the new topic. Find the next materials. As I told you, this is also a very important topic in operations management, especially during the recent past. During the last 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, right? Everyone's attention is on quality management now. It has been evolved so fast in almost all industries. Now, talking about how to manage quality in the organization, especially our topic, our subject area, that is operations management. Right? So, and one main area, operations management area, quality management has been recognized. Are we ready? At the undergraduate level, you just consider it as a one topic and try to get a simple idea what it is, why this is important, and how quality management is practiced in organizations. That's it. Right? You will further understand things when you start working for leading organizations. Right. Managing for quality, and one main concern here, total quality management. We'll briefly introduce that to you. There are a few learning outcomes. We will not be able to cover everything again, right? But somewhat basic understanding is required. Anyway, what the meaning of the quality? What is it? You should understand very carefully and comprehensively. So define the concept of quality and then identify quality dimensions. How the quality of products are measured. How the quality of services are measured. You need to identify. Then, of course, the importance of quality management for organizations should be broadly understood. Why that is important. And then, third learning outcome would be the main one here. Identify quality management process, the steps involved, the techniques used, and in it, the role of operations management in managing for quality will be the main objective we try to achieve in our discussion. We'll try to complete that part within today itself, and the other concepts, the other detailed understanding, if time permits, I will discuss. Right? So identify elements of quality management systems, QMS, and briefly identify how quality management programs, quality management activities have been evolved over a period of time, at least a simple idea. And then, of course, there are other quality related concepts and frameworks like cost of quality framework and other things. If time permits, I will discuss them as well. But things are there in the handout. And just Google some of those concepts and find more details as well. So, to understand what quality is that a new term? Quality? No, not at all. Even in our day-to-day life, we use this term, isn't so? Quality. Quality. Probably without knowing the meaning, we use it. Sometimes it's good to know about it. In our subject, it's a must to know. Operations management. Operations managers are mainly responsible for managing quality of the products managing the quality of services they deliver as well. Right. What is the meaning of quality? What is the meaning of quality? How do you describe it? Have you thought of describing it? Probably no. Right? Yeah. Right. So why quality is important for you? Probably as customers, why that is important? Well, we consider it when we purchase things. When you go to the market to buy, let's say, any product, could be biscuits, shampoo, clothes, pair of shoes, mobile phones, whatever. Right? Do we consider quality of it? Or consider something else? What is the most important thing you consider when you buy stuff? Probably not the quality, but what? Price. Isn't so? You mainly consider price. And most of us consider price. But together with price, what else we consider? Quality. Quality of the product. We don't know what it is, but we think quality. So let's try to understand the meaning of quality because in our subject, operations management, production management, what do they do? They are the ones managing the processes involved in producing products. On behalf of the organization. In factories. In services also, they are the ones who are managing the processes, creating and delivering services. The operations managers, operations department, responsible for producing products, creating and deliver services. Of course, then they should understand the meaning of quality in a broader, comprehensive manner. You get that point? They should know what the meaning of quality. Now, there are different views. Traditionally, we believe quality is equal to excellence. So, when a product is a superior product, then all the other products we consider that as the quality, highest quality. Well, that is only one view. There are other views as well. There's a view called product-based view. There we believe product quality attached to its attributes. That we should be able to measure those attributes of the product and measure whether this is of good quality or bad quality. User-based view, they believe quality lies in the eyes of the beholder. From person to person, by depending on the way that they look at the product, their expectations, quality may vary. This is more marketing perspective. And then value-based view, quality is a trade-off between price and value. They often, that is what the marketing aspect actually, the trade-off between price and cost. Customers consider what is the bundle of benefits they get for the price they pay, and then accordingly assess the quality of it. It's also fine. So those are different views. But in operations management, more importantly, we refer to this meaning. Manufacturing based view on say for an example, if you go to a factory and meet an operations manager, factory manager, ask about quality. What is the quality? How do you describe quality? They probably give you an answer like this. What is it? They will tell you for each and every product we produce here, we have product details. Right? We have set of specifications design. We call that product specifications. What is it? Product specification, product spec. There they have identified all the technical details of the product. When they produce the product at factories, what do? They check the product to what extent that product is aligned with that specification. That is what we call conformance to standards. That's a spec or a standard. Every time they produce the product, they check the product with the spec or the standard and conform to the standard. When the products are up to that level, they consider that as good quality, quality tested, okay. When the product not meeting those standards, they reject it. Can you understand it? So for manufacturers, it's basically like conformance to standards, we call it. Understand? Conformance to standards. And also making the right product the first time in the meaning of quality. However, that traditional idea, operations managers, when they assess the quality based on conformance to standards, not adequate. Not adequate. එකත් එකක් දැන්වත් මෙහෙම තමයි වෙන්නේ. Now we need to understand the meaning of quality in a better or comprehensive way. For that, I have given you a few definitions. Quality of a product, quality of a service is one of the main factors contributing to enhanced customer experience, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. Are they important for a business? Of course, yes. So for improving customer experiences, customer satisfaction and loyalty, quality should be maintained. So we should understand what's the meaning of quality in order to ensure it. Right. American Society of Quality defines quality as the totality of features and characteristics of a product that bear on its ability to satisfy given needs. That is how they define quality. It does not depend on one feature or one characteristic, but all the features, all the characteristics of the product that bear its ability to fulfill the customer requirement. That is how the quality is described. So in simple terms, quality is the ability of that product, ability of that service to fulfill the requirements of the customer. That is the simplest way to define quality. We call it customer-driven definition. Ability of the product to fulfill the customer requirement. Some products are able to do so, high quality. Some products are not able to do so, poor quality. Right. To understand that, technically, textbooks, they explain these two viewpoints. There are two perspectives on quality. Two ways of looking at it. This is the traditional view, producer's perspective, and this is marketing perspective. We call it customer's perspective. Businesses should understand both and align their products with the broad understanding. There are two concepts. Producer's perspective that I just introduced to you earlier, that we call quality of conformance. There are standards. Whenever they produce, they try to produce it according to the standards. That we call quality of conformance. But customers assess the quality based on quality of design. Quality of design. But the details are provided here. Quality of conformance means, as I explained to you earlier, consistent conformance to customer expectations or degree to which product design specifications are met. So, quality of conformance is the ability of a product to meet its design specifications. So it refers to making sure the product is produced according to the design specifications and within the standard cost. That is how factory managers and everyone assess the quality. It depends on many factors, as mentioned here. Design based on the design production processes, performance of the machinery used, and the materials quality, skill levels of employees, their training and all, whether we can meet the design specifications. That is quality of conformance. But the other one, quality of design, is how the product has been designed. Quality characteristics into a product. What customers expect from the product would be varied from product to product. But quality dimensions are very important. How you assess a garment item before purchasing. Its material, its design, its colors, its fashion, all are features, all are quality dimensions. Customers assess the quality not based on the spec, but based on their characteristics. How the product has been designed, isn't so? That is what we call quality of design. They also consider the price and together decide whether the product is of good quality or not. So managers of modern organizations should understand both how customers assess quality in addition to how manufacturers assess quality, and then both together. Right? So this is the latest approach. This is the most popular approach now, most practical approach now, that every organization should understand. So there are different concepts like marketing, value-based approach, TQM approach, QFD approach. All are talking about customer's perspective. But practically, I would say both are important. Both perspectives are important. Customer's perspective and producer's perspective, and more prominence should be given to customer perspective. Customer perspective. So this simple definition, which combines both. It's a very simple explanation, but it combines both. This is how now quality is defined in modern organizations. So it's simple. Just read and understand what is how we define quality now. Fitness for customer use. Right? That combines both views. Is that clear? What are the two views? Producer's view and the customer's view. How producers assess the quality based on a concept called quality of conformance. What is that? They have standards. When they produce products, they compare with the standards and they assess whether the product is conformance or not. But customers, they use this concept. We call it quality of design. What does that mean? How the product is designed, what features they have added, and accordingly they decide whether the product is capable of fulfilling their requirements. Now together, these two perspectives should be combined because they are depending on each other. So this is the final understanding you need to have. The meaning of quality is all about the fitness for customer use. Okay. Fitness of what? Okay, fitness second. No, fitness of the product. Fitness of the product or fitness of the service in service industries. Ability of the product, ability of the service for meeting customer requirement. Isn't that the simple way that we can understand? When you take a simple writing pen, how you assess the quality of it? You don't look at the specification, right? But you even before writing, you assess the quality of a pen, isn't so? Right? ගන්න කලින් හිතන්නේ නැද්ද? දකින්නකොටවත් හිතනවා මේක quality pen එක. How? You assess the design attributes, the material they are used, the shape of it, the colors, aesthetic aspects you consider. Then you start feeling it's a good quality one. Then of course when you try it, when you start writing and all, you understand okay, this serves my purpose. Nicely writing. Pointer is sharp, smooth writing. Right? And there is a place to grip the pen easily. So contributing, considering all these attributes, you assess this is of good quality. Isn't so? That is what we call fitness for customer use. So businesses, whether that is manufacturing or services, when it comes to producing them, they have to seriously consider what customers expect from our product. And accordingly make sure you meet their requirements. And for that, there should be quality management activities in organizations. Otherwise, it don't happen automatically. Do you understand how important this is? Without quality management activities, companies are unable to do that. So, basically, our subject, that is operations management, operations managers are mainly responsible for managing quality. That is why we have this topic. And after that, I will explain you, well, operations managers are responsible, but they cannot handle everything related to quality management. So there is a separate staff for that. Separate management staff for that. Their main responsibility is quality management. We are going to talk about them and operations management responsibility. Is that clear? Any quick questions about the meaning of quality? Clear? I will give you 5 minutes to do a quick Google search, right? And identify 2 or 3 definitions, simple definitions, how quality can be defined. We already discussed. I'm not going to discuss it again, right? Just see in the online resources you have. So how quality can be defined. Quality of products, quality of services can be described or defined. Write down 1 or 2 or 3 simple definitions. In addition to what you see in the handout, you can write down those definitions as well. Write down 2, 3 definitions. How quality can be defined. Quality of products, quality of services. Online participants can also look for online resources, e-resources. And I will define how quality can be defined. Meaning of quality. Please two definitions, two descriptions. Definitions So when you read them, are they in line with what we discussed here? The meaning of quality of products, quality services. So let's take 3 to 5 minutes to look at a few descriptions you have identified. You can read and then we can quickly see the connection. I will give you 1 more minute. Can we have 1 or 2 or 3 descriptions you have identified? Just wait and let's see what you have identified. Any volunteer? Yeah.
It measures how well the manufactured product or service meet the preferred predefined design specifications.
Wow, interesting. That nicely summarizes everything we described, right? Can you repeat it? Can you repeat the description?
It measures how well the manufactured product or service meets the predefined design specifications.
Design. So that is what, in fact, the connection between two, right? It's important how customers consider it, but at the same time, how the pre-design specifications, product specifications are met. The product should adequately meet the spec, and at the same time, that product should meet the customer's design requirements as well. Thank you. Very good point. Likewise, one or two more points. You have another point? Please go ahead. Yeah.
Quality is the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill the requirements.
Okay. Quality is, repeat it, please.
Quality is the degree to which
The degree to which
to a set of inherent characteristics fulfill requirements.
inherent characteristics fulfill the requirements of customers. That's very interesting. The degree to which the inherent characteristics of the product fulfill the requirements of customers. Right. That is how quality is described, quality is defined. Probably one more. You have an answer? The degree to which something, that is a product or a service, is free from defects. It's another way to look at it. Free from defects. Error free, defective free. Then we consider it as quality. Otherwise, that's a defect. Poor quality. Error free. That is why the right product take the right product. Take the right product. This has a different meaning. That error-free product should be produced first time as well. Make it the first time. Does that mean at factories they do not produce defectives or errors? It's good if they can prevent, but practically it cannot be prevented. There can be defectives they produce. At the end of the production process, they come to know some products are some products are defects. That is unavoidable. So then what they do? When they happen to produce defectives, when they notice them, what do? Have you seen? Let's say for example, when you visit a garment factory, there are different production steps: cutting, sewing, finishing, ironing, or whatever. Right? At the end of it, packaging. And before packaging, they have to check the quality. Not only at the end, in the process also they check the quality. When they detect defectives, what do? Just throw it away? No. Can they just throw it away? No. Why? There can be defects that can be recorrected. Then what they do? They resend the products to the factory floor again and ask the relevant department to rework it. What is it? Reworking to make it a quality product. They can rework to make it an error-free product. Second attempt. Not the first time. So if a factory produces defectives in the first attempt, they will detect it and then rework and make it a quality product with second attempt. Understand it? Then they will make sure they send a quality product to the market. But from operation side, is that efficient? When they again and again detect defectives and rework and sometimes again rework. Right? Is that efficient? No, not at all. Why? Then we have to allocate machines, allocate workers, so that you lost the opportunity to produce new products. That is expensive. Can you understand it? So factories and factory workers, factory managers should make sure they produce the right product first time, so that they can prevent producing them again and again or reworking. Do you get the point? So that is why they consider making the right product, error-free product, as he correctly mentioned, defective-free product, first time itself. Otherwise, remaking and reworking and all takes time. Now, one might ask, can all the errors corrected, reworked? What do you think? No, at factories, unfortunately, some of the production mistakes, production errors, defectives cannot be reworked. Say for an example, porcelain factory. Have you been to a porcelain factory? Anyone? Porcelain factories producing plates, porcelain products and all. Right. Assume one batch after producing cleaning, what they call it, bake එක දාලා වගේ cleaning can bake කරනවා වගේ දෙයක් කරන්න. කියන්නේ initial plate එක උච්චරනවා. හරි එතකොට තමයි ඒක strength එක වැඩි වෙලා එන්නේ. Assume that due to a mistake, overheat, overstayed longer time than prescribed, so the product is not up to the, I mean, that's destroyed now. Cannot be reworked. Is that expensive? Another thing, the cost take actually. So all the materials you have used will be wasted. All the labor cost we have spent up to that point will be wasted. Energy will be wasted. The production time you have used for that will be wasted. Those are losses. Can you understand it? That is why factories should make sure that they produce the right product at the right first time. Hope that is clear. Then they will have to throw them away. Sometimes you may have seen certain factories, they have factory outlets. Have you seen? Factory outlets, what type of products they sell there? The highest quality products? Usually no. Right. There are some products are available at lower prices, discounted prices. Right. Those are with some minor quality problems. Right. They can't sell such products at the market price. What they have to do then? They will have to sell them at a discounted price. Somehow they can recover the cost and probably small profit margin. Go at the cost, go at a loss. They will have to sell. Can you understand it? So there are options when quality problems happen. Quality defectives are there. But it's important for a factory to produce quality product first time. Can you understand? I hope so. So that is why quality is important in operations. Quality is important in business. I hope that is all right. Can we have one more description and move forward then? Oh, we don't have time to move forward. Anyway, one more description. What quality is? Hello? Others mentioned. Is that? Hope I assume that then you have the meaning. I will take only 3 to 5 minutes and finish it off around 11:20. Now, how products quality is assessed? Is there an accepted way? Probably you and me go to the market, just evaluate a product and consider quality. But according to research findings, there are criteria used by customers, people, criteria used for assessing the quality of products. Products, tangible things like furniture, shoes, garment items, mobile phones, even automobiles, products. Such features are known as, such characteristics are known as product quality dimensions. What are those? Product quality dimensions. In other words, criteria used for evaluating the quality of products. They mentioned here. Right? Sometimes you may have studied them earlier. These are the common criteria based on performance of the product. Quality is assessed. Details are provided. Based on the performance of the product, quality is assessed, and based on the features. In addition to the main features, other features. Here, the performance is the main purpose for which the product is used. Features are additional features. Assume that you go to a single showroom or any other dumbbell showroom to buy a new television with your family, your father and brother, you go. Now, when you assess the quality of a model, you will consider certain aspects. The performance side of it, the brightness of the picture. So features, additional features. What are the key features you would look for now when you want to buy a new television? One or two key features. Hello. In addition to the basic picture quality and all, what else? Build quality. Build quality. Exactly, you mean by that? How the material. Whether that is, yep, I understand it. Build quality. So the materials they have used, and then for the kind of heavy use, we don't throw them down, but we need at least some kind of durability there, right? Not durable, but material quality, I know, right? Material quality, build quality, yes. What else? Yes. What are the other features? After sales services. Well, those are important, right? In terms of features, features are product characteristics, right? Product characteristics. So I'm just asking, what are the latest features you would expect from a television now? When you don't watch televisions anymore, but for some other purposes you may use televisions. Maybe for what? Repeat it, please. Color system, sound system, how advanced they are, how powerful they are. We would look at yes, added features. Yes, and what else? Android tablet, Android TVs. Android TVs, smart TVs. Yeah, smart TVs, smart features like by connecting through other devices easily. Right, smart TVs, sometimes touch screen and internet ready operating systems. So such features. So such products would be considered as of high quality. Right. Other product characteristics and added features. Conformance. For each and every product, there are standards. We would check to what extent that this product is in line with the specs, standards set. That is called conformance. Reliability. The performance of these features over a period of time. There are some products, they look nice. There are many features, but do not last long. So the reliability is questionable. Yeah, branded reliable. All positive. Amhara products features are technology are but broken down very fast. Customers consider the reliability also. Durability, the useful life of a product. Service, service means upsell services. Right. In case of complaints, product failures, problems, how easily you can get things repaired. Customers consider that aspect as well. Service. And aesthetics, what is that? How the product look like. The colors, dimensions, shapes. Certain latest automobiles, when they are running on road, I feel like, aesthetic side. But there are certain elegant looking vehicles. We don't know how the interior is, how the operating system is, or the technology is, but looks nice outside. Features, shapes, colors, aesthetic side. Sensory characteristics, such as exterior finish. Customers consider it. And then, of course, another dimension customers consider, we call it reputation. Brand name. Right? Are they important? Do we consider them also when assessing the quality? Without knowing, we consider. So these are the common characteristics used by customers to assessing products quality. Then product quality dimensions. That is the main criteria products. Are they same for services? For services like banking, hospitals, restaurants, airline services, education, are the same quality dimensions applicable? Well, according to research, no. There are some other criteria. Right? Some other criteria. They are known as service quality dimensions. Those are the criteria used for service quality assessments. They are of course different. Some of them are mentioned here clearly. Go through. There is a model developed for service quality that has only 5 dimensions. That model is known as Survival model. Service quality model. That summarizes all these things into 5. These are the 5 aspects. The reliability aspect of the service, assurance of the service, tangibles associated with the service, and the empathy of the employees, and the responsiveness of the employees. Those are the main criteria for services. Because services are different from products. In services, what matters most is when customers come, how the service providing staff, approaching them, getting their queries, helping them. Right? When you go to hospital, you don't look at other things, but how kind they are, how quickly they attend to your requests, right? And then how competent they are, their qualifications, their competencies. Right? So those features. Clear. Is that clear? So with that I might conclude. What did we discuss after the break? Quality. We didn't discuss about quality management yet. Right? That we will start next week. But we understood the meaning of quality and the importance of quality. At the end, we identified how the product's quality measured, and then service quality. You can Google any of these. All the YouTube videos are available. Online resources are there. Just a little time if needed. Right. Next week, we will try to understand what quality management is and the main activities in quality management. That is the main content. After that, there are other concepts I might discuss or might not discuss. Right? Hope to see you next week. Keep me updated. The side thing. Yeah? Take good care of yourself.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, I couldn't mark my attendance actually.
Why?
I had a data issue actually. Can you mark my attendance? Shall I give my number?
Data issue. What kind of data issue you had?
No, actually, I haven't paid my bill actually. That's the issue.
I mean, how come you connected to the online meeting, but you cannot, you couldn't log into the LMS during that time?
No, that time only I got that issue.
Can you send me your registration number? I will.
Yeah, sure.
Now, this is not possible every time because what if more students time to time come up with some same example, same excuses. So that's why I don't like it. There's one participant here. Two, right? Okay. Only these three issues I will sort out today, but I don't expect the same thing will happen again and again. Okay. Tell me your registration number.
69.